Assalamu alaikum. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, um, today's video is about Gabby Sidibe. Is it Sidibe or Sidibe? I don't know if I'm saying her name right, but excuse me if I am. Um, Gabby is on the cover of ELLE magazine. Well, one of the 5 covers celebrating women in their mid-20s. I think it's like 25. I'm past that, honey. I'm late 20s. But I still plan on buying the cover with Chanel Monet and then the other cover with Gabby. What was upsetting me on a lot of blogs and other pages is people keep on mentioning her weight. I think this young lady is fully aware that she is obese. I think she knows that she is a big woman. I don't think she wakes up every day and looks in the mirror and says, "Ooh, I'm a size 6. Living my life like it's golden, living my life like it's golden, golden, living my life." I don't think I think she knows she's big. I think when Jill Scott looks in the mirror, I think she knows she's a heavier woman. I think when Queen Latifah looks in the mirror, I think she knows she's a bigger woman. When Jennifer Hudson, well, she slimmed down. So when she was bigger, she knew that. So that's all people were focusing on, was how big she is. I'm like, okay, we love to harass and make fun of overweight people. It's obvious that they have issues with their weight. People love to criticize what they can't see. It's funny because I remember a few years back, me and a friend were out and there was this heavyset girl, and my friend who's thin and who's been thin all her life, she made a little rude comment because the heavyset woman was with a very attractive man, and my friend said he's not with her because of how she looks. Well, one, she wasn't ugly, she was just heavy. And all I thought to myself was, okay, I think you're jealous because she has a man. It may not even be her man. You're just assuming it could be her cousin, it could be her brother. You don't know. But anyways, you're commenting about her weight, but your weave is a hot mess. I mean, you're my girl and everything, but your hair is busted and you're sitting here talking about somebody else. People always say that fat women are basically the bottom of the barrel female. I personally think it depends on how you're shaped. Personally, I know a lot of heavy set females who have a shape. That means their waist is much smaller than their hips. Like they have a ratio rather than somebody who's shaped like a barrel. Somebody who is shaped like Jennifer Hudson and then comparing somebody who's shaped like Gabby. Jennifer Hudson is overweight, Gabby is obese. I think more men will pick Jennifer Hudson even though she was overweight. So just because you're overweight doesn't mean that you can't find a man. There's always these rumors that, oh, thin women, blah, 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 thin women, this and that. Well, why are so many thin women single? Really, people, at the end of the day, we all have issues and we all have our own problems. So when people are constantly focusing on someone's obvious defects, I think one reason why people also harass overweight people because it's something that they can control. And one time I told a friend, well, if you're so concerned about fat people, why don't you stop smoking weed all the time? Why don't you go find your baby daddy and catch him up with his child support? Why don't you improve certain things about your life? Most fat people know that they're overweight and it knows that it's unhealthy. Rather than making fun and criticizing, I applaud people who try to approach it in a completely different way. If you were Gabby's friend, Why is it every time I'm making a video somebody texts me? It's always, but anyways, if you're Gabby's friend, why don't you just offer to walk with her? Okay, get her a recipe book, or make something healthy and show her how you did it, rather than saying, girl, you know you big. I think she knows. I have a friend who lost a lot of weight, and she wasn't really even that heavy. I would say 40 pounds overweight, but her father was always harassing her about her weight. And one day, after she moved out of her father's house, she decided for herself, not because her father and other friends and family were pressuring her, but she decided for herself to lose the weight. Now she is thin and she's active. Also, a lot of people, this is not an excuse, but this is the truth, they're heavy because they have a lot of emotional issues. That weight is like a form of security. I can't explain it. Food is also a form of security. But to sit there and to just criticize Gabby on the cover of ELLE just because she's a larger woman. Now, I've had people say, oh, it's not because she's large, it's because she ain't cute. I don't see anything wrong with her face. I think her face looks a little bit distorted because of all the fat on her face. I think if she lost weight, we would be able to see her facial features, but I don't see anything wrong with her face. She has a little nose, she has really cute lips, she has actually nice eyes. If she lost weight, we would be able to see them a lot better. I don't see anything wrong with them. I actually had a friend who called her Aunt Jemima, and he said, well, she reminds me too much of the slave mamas. And it's like, wow. No, mammy? Is that what you call it? Mammy? And it's just really, really, really sad, people. I think sometimes rather than saying, aha, you're fat, I think you should go, girl, there is a new gym opening up. I'm trying to shape up, girl, and I want you to come along with me, rather than saying, ooh, girl, you know you're too big. Or, this is one thing I don't like. Have you ever seen a group of females who have one overweight friend who looks busted? Like, everybody else looks cute. It's kind of like they keep her around to build their self-esteem, but she looks busted. Like, compared, not because she's fat, but usually she's overweight and she's not dressing correctly. I think that is one of the meanest things you can do, is to keep someone around so you can boost your own self-esteem. And I've seen females do that. They'll have a friend, hang around a friend, or attach themselves to a friend who doesn't look as good as them, and that builds the other friend's self-esteem. I mean, that is sorry. If you're one of those females who hangs around people who you know, not because they're not ugly, but they just don't carry themselves correctly, just to build your own self-esteem, that's really sorry. And that also says a lot about you. It says that you're sorry too, and that you probably have self-esteem issues yourself. Gabby, to me, is not ugly. I just think she's extremely big, but she's not ugly. And for people to just call her all types of stuff like fat, black, and ugly, it really hurts my feelings. It hurts my feelings because she can't help the fact that she's dark or how she looks. And also, people talk about her skin complexion. It's talking about something, she's black as night. She can't help that. And what's wrong with being black as night? She is black. I don't see anything wrong with that. Well, my time is almost up. I'm just saying, don't be so critical, because while you're pointing finger at somebody else, there's what, 2 more pointing back at? How many? There's actually 3 more pointing back at you, which I think that's so funny, because when you do point your finger, there's 3 more pointing back at you. So work on your own issues. If you're promiscuous, work on that. If you're a bad mother or father, work on that. And just don't attack people. Try to help them, okay? Well, Everybody, salam alaikum.